Long time ago in a faraway land, was a village named Ojiam Village. This village was renowned for its brave hunters, but none was more celebrated than Ajola. Ajola was not just an ordinary hunter, he was a legend. His prowess in the forest was unmatched, his skills always the most impressive, and his presence in the village commanded respect and awe. Ajola's secret lay in a mystical concoction handed down to him through generations. He always pours this concoction over his body, he would then transform into any animal he desired. This concoction was prepared using rare herbs and the essence of the forest, a sacred ritual known only to Ajola. Each morning before his hunt, he would bathe in this potion, feeling the transformation wash over him. Ajola's fame spread like wildfire, his name becoming synonymous with courage and cunning. He could track the most elusive of prey, deceive the most cautious of animals, and return to the village market with a bounty that always fetched him good price. But despite his success, Ajola was humble, attributing his skills to the blessings of the forest spirits. The preparation of Ajola's magical concoction was an elaborate ritual. At dawn, he would venture deep into the forest to collect the necessary ingredients: leaves from the sacred Iroko tree, sap from the ancient baobab tree, and flowers that bloomed only under the full moon. These were mixed with water from a hidden spring, known to possess mystical powers. Ajola would chant incantations, calling upon the spirits of the forest to bless the potion. As the mixture simmered over a small fire, a fragrant steam would rise, signaling its readiness. He would then pour the concoction into a clay pot, carefully sealing it until it was time for his transformation. Every morning, Ajola would strip to his waist and pour the potion over his body, feeling a rush of energy as his form shifted. His senses would heighten, his reflexes sharpen, and he would become the animal of his choosing, ready to outwit his prey. One day, the village was abuzz with excitement. The king, Oba Adeyemi, had announced that his daughter, Princess Adoni, would marry the bravest hunter in the land. The king declared that a great hunt would be held, and the hunter who brought back the most formidable beast would marry the beautiful princess as a prize. This announcement sent a ripple of excitement through Ojiam village. Hunters from far and wide prepared to prove their mettle. The princess, known for her beauty and grace, was the prize of a lifetime. Ajola, confident in his abilities, prepared his magical potion with even greater care than usual. Every hunter in the village prepared for the great hunt. They sharpened their spears, strung their bows, offered all kinds of sacrifice and prayers to the gods for strength and success. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, as each hunter hoped to bring back a trophy worthy of the princess's hand in marriage. Ajola, however, was serene and focused. He knew his secret gave him an edge, and he intended to use it to win the hunt. As he chanted over his potion, he felt the familiar rush of power, confident that the spirits were with him. On the morning of the hunt, Ajola poured the magical potion over himself and chose to transform into a swift and cunning leopard. As he stalked through the forest, his senses were heightened, every sound and scent guiding him toward his prey. He moved with the grace and stealth of the leopard, blending seamlessly with the dapple shadows of the forest. It wasn't long before he spotted a majestic lion. Knowing that this kill would surely win him the princess, he prepared to strike. Ajola, in the form of the leopard, engaged in a fierce battle with the lion. His agility and strength were unmatched, and soon he overpowered the great beast. With a final, mighty strike, he killed the lion and roared in triumph. He felt the exhilaration of victory, certain that the lion's pelt would secure his place as the bravest hunter in Ojiam village and all other surrounding neighborhood. He dragged the lion's body to the spot where he always kept the pot of potion to transform back into a human. To his horror, he discovered that the wind had blown the pot away, scattering its contents. He knew the danger involved, because he would be trapped in his animal form, unable to return to his human self any longer. Panic set in as he realized the gravity of his situation. Ajola's mind raced as he tried to think of a solution. He could not stay in the forest forever as a leopard. He needed help, but he could not communicate in his current form. Desperation pushed him to make a decision. Frustration and fear gripped Ajola. He roared in anger, his voice echoing through the forest. He decided to return to the village, hoping that someone would recognize him and help. As he approached the outskirts of Ojian village, his roars grew louder, a mixture of desperation and fury. He needed to get back to his human form, and he needed the villagers to understand. As Ajola approached the villagers saw a fearsome leopard entering their midst. Panic ensued. People screamed and ran in all directions, seeking refuge from what they believed was a deadly predator. The women and children huddled in their homes, while the men grabbed whatever weapons they could find. The village had faced animal attacks before, but never one so brazen and terrifying. The hunters of the village, armed with their weapons, rushed out to confront the leopard. They were determined to protect their loved ones and their home from the perceived threat. Ajola, seeing the hunters approach, tried to communicate, but all that came out were guttural growls and roars. The more he tried, the more aggressive he appeared, further fueling the hunter's determination to bring him down. In the chaos, one of the hunters, with a steady hand and a keen eye, shot an arrow that struck Ajola in his side. He roared in pain and fell to the ground, gasping for breath. As he lay there, he felt the life slipping away from him. Desperation and regret filled his heart as he realized that his secret had led to his downfall. As Ajola lay down gasping for breath, his body began to change. The villagers watched in horror and disbelief as the leopard transformed back into the form of their beloved hunter. Ajola tried to speak, but his strength was fading fast. The shock of seeing Ajola, the revered hunter, lying there in his human form struck the villagers to their core. They were frozen, unable to process what they were witnessing. With his final breaths, Ajola managed to whisper, "It is I, Ajola. Forgive me." His eyes closed, and he breathed his last. The village fell silent, stunned by the revelation and the tragic loss. Tears flowed freely as the reality of what had happened sank in. They had lost not just a hunter, but a hero, a friend, and a protector. The villagers and hunters were left to grapple with their grief and guilt. They had killed their greatest hunter, unaware of his true identity. The king, hearing of the tragedy, mourned the loss of such a brave man. The once jubilant village now wore a shroud of sorrow. The harm that was meant to bring joy and celebration had instead brought heartbreak and loss. The story of Ajola became a somber tale told for generations. It served as a reminder of the dangers of pride and secrecy. The villagers learned to value transparency and caution, knowing that even the greatest of secrets could lead to the gravest of tragedies. Ajola's tale was recounted around fires and in homes, a cautionary story that taught the importance of humility and the dangers of over-reliance on hidden powers. Princess Adoni, heartbroken by Ajola's death, vowed to dedicate her life to serving the village. She saw in Ajola's story a lesson in leadership and humility, values she embraced as she worked to better the lives of her people.